Now I'd like to do a really quick study in aperture priority mode. So specifically with the 50mm lens, I have the aperture 20 on the right hand side, 8 in the middle, and 1.8 on the left. And you can see that the depth of field on the 1.8 is far more shallow than the other two. Look how out of focus and blurry the background is. You wouldn't even be able to tell that was another succulent. It's also such a shallow depth of field that the foreground succulent is also out of focus. Now let's use the 24 to 105mm lens and take a look at the aperture of 14. So the photo on the right hand side is without zooming in at all. I'm just standing there taking a picture. Now I've enlarged the image in order to bring it to the same size as the other one so that we could compare them side by side. But the one on the left, I actually max out my zoom in order to blur the background. So you can see the difference there. Now let's take our same lens, the 24 to 105, and take our aperture all the way down, the lowest it'll go for this lens, to 4.0. Now, if you look at the one on the right, again, this is without zooming with my lens, but I have made the image larger to compare. The one on the left is completely zoomed, maxed out zoom. So you can see even the foreground on this succulent is out of focus and the background is nice and soft and blurry. Now let's look at our aperture 24 to 105, 14 and 4, both zoomed. Look at the big difference the aperture makes going from a very small aperture of 14 to a very large wide open aperture of 4. That background on the right is far blurrier and far prettier for our pictures. Now let's really take it to the next level and compare our 50mm f1.8 aperture to our 24 to 105 4 with the zoom. As you can see, that 1.8 is still better than the 4.0. That's what makes the 50mm perfect for those really nice detail shots. This is what I typically use for rings at a wedding.